أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله: إن الله تعالى تبارك وتعالى يبغض كل عالم بالدنيا جاهل بالآخرة، أو جاهل بالآخرة. شوفون بعض الناس أمور الدنيا كل شيء يدري، بالطوبة يدري، بالمعرف شنو كله يدري، بس بأمور الآخرة لا، كل شيء ماكو. الله سبحانه وتعالى هذا الشخص يبغضه. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah the Exalted despises anyone who is knowledgeable about the world but ignorant about the hereafter. With Islamic Laws Part 1, ruling number 669. If the time for Salah has set in and a person is already with wudu, before the time of Salah is set in, the person is already with wudu on tahara. He should not allow his wudu to become void. He should not allow to let his wudu to be void. Like what not allow? Just like not to sleep deeply, not to fart, not to go to the bathroom if he does not in need. In need for going to the bathroom. So he has to keep his tahara on validity. If he knows that, in general, no, there is a condition. If he knows that he will not be able to find water, or he will not be able to do wudu again. He said if he lost his, or if he invalidates his tahara, he will never get water to have ablution or to have ghusl. For example, if he is on tahara and the time of salah is set in, okay, and he knows if he become a mujnib, he will never get water for what? For ghusl. For ghusl. In this case, he has to keep his tahara on until he finishes his salah. As an obligatory precaution, he should not invalidate his wudu deliberately. However, a man can have sex with his wife even if he knows that he will not be able to do ghusl. To do what? If he, for example, if he is becoming, in this case, what he is going to do? To have tayammum instead of ghusl, if he cannot have the tahara al-ma'iyya, the ghusl, in that time. Ruling number 670. Any question? Any question? That means, look, for the other excuses, like sleeping, like going to the bathroom if he doesn't need, if he doesn't need to go to the bathroom, he shouldn't go. But in case he want to get slept, to go to bed with his wife, it is allowed for him. It is allowed. Even if he couldn't get water to have ghusl, yes, even if he does not have water to have the tahara al-ma'iyya with it, he can have this situation, and he will have tayammum instead of ghusl with water. Ruling number 670. Similarly, if a person is with wudu before the time for a prayer sets in, if the same hukum, if a person is wudu before the time for a prayer sets in and knows that if he made his wudu void, if he made his wudu void, it would not be possible for him to get water. The recommended precaution is that he should try to keep his wudu intact. He should keep his wudu intact, not to invalidate his wudu. Why? Because he is already on tahara, and if he invalidates his tahara, he will not have there is no water anymore to have tahara ma'iyya wudu, ablution. For that, he should have himself with tahara, not to invalidate his tahara. As an obligatory precaution, he should not invalidate the wudu deliberately as an obligatory precaution, not to invalidate his tahara. Is this understood? Good. Ruling number 671. If a person has just sufficient water, that's enough, not that much of water, just a little bit of water, which is enough for what? For wudu or for ghusl. For wudu if he needs wudu, for ghusl if he needs ghusl. And if he knows that if he spills that water, he will not be able to get water again. He cannot get water again for ghusl or for ablution. It is haram for him to, look, this is a verdict. It is haram for him to spill that water if the time for a prayer has already set in. If the time of the salah has already set in and he wants to spill that water, it is haram for him to spill that water. And the obligatory precaution is that he should not throw it away even before the time for the prayer sets in. And as an obligatory precaution, not to throw that water away. Throw it away just like what? Give it to the plant, give it to an animal, okay? So it is not allowed for him as an obligatory precaution. Why? Because if he lost that water, he cannot have what? He cannot have tahara with water. Ruling number 672. If a person knew that he would not get water and yet made his wudu void or spilled it after the time for prayer had set in. Now, what he is going to do? Absolutely, is going to perform tayammum. Now, is that tayammum valid or void? Let's see. And yet he made his wudu void or spilled it after the time for a prayer had set in. He committed a sin. By what? By spilled the water, but his prayer with tayammum will be in order. Valid. It is valid. Yes, it is in order. Even he will find water later, it is not obligatory to repeat it or do qada, because he has already done tayammum, and this is one of the ways that tayammum is allowed, or this is one of the excuses which make tayammum valid. Second, ruling 672. If a person is unable to procure water, what is the second? This is the second condition of the excuses which allowed you to perform tayammum. This is the second condition. There are 7. You are good. If a person is unable to procure water, to procure, you know what I mean? To get, to yishtari. is unable to procure water on account of old age or weakness or fear of a faith or a beast, or because he does not possess means to draw water from a well. So procure يحصل عفوا, not purchase, sorry, purchase دي شيء يشتري. Procure معناها يحصل, to get the water. For these reasons, he should perform tayammum. He should perform tayammum. The same would apply if acquiring water is intolerably difficult. The same if the terrible is intolerably. What does it mean? That it is so hard. There is a hardship of getting water. There is a hardship of getting water. Just like going or traveling for a long distance, for example, or faces some difficulties. There are some hardship in procuring water. It is allowed to perform tayammum. But in this last situation, which is the same would apply if acquiring water is intolerably difficult in this situation. But in this last situation, if a person, in spite of the difficulty, did not perform tayammum and did wudu, his wudu will be valid. What is this situation? This situation means that this person, he bears these difficulties, and for example, he travels for a long distance to get water. Okay, his water is his wudu is what? Is valid. And does he commit a sin? No, there is no sin. There is no sin on him. There is no sin on him. Ruling number 674. If a bucket سطل, دلو سطل. If a bucket or a rope, حبل, and other similar implements are needed for pulling water out of a well. There is water in well, but he does not have bucket. He doesn't have rope. Okay, and the person concerned is obliged to purchase or hire them. To purchase, to pay money. يشتري. To purchase, to buy, or hire. يعني يدفع money, fair يدفع. For them, for hire them. He should do so. He should do so. This is generally, هذا مطلقا واجب عليه انه يروح يدفع فلوس على مود يشتري الحبل ويشتري السطول. لا, there is a condition. He should do so even if he has to pay much more money than the usual rate. حتى لو سعرهن أكثر من الطبيعي، أكثر من الواقعي، ممكن يدفع. هذا in all cases, no. If does not affect his budget, if does not affect his economic status. Okay? However, if by doing so, by purchasing or hiring the rope and the bucket, his economic condition is harmed. هذا يدفع فلوس، وبالنسبة لهاي الفلوس إلى الوضعية الحالة المادية مؤثرة. يعني he is poor and he has to pay, for example, 10,000 IQDs to buy or rent this rope and bucket. 10,000 IQDs, it will be so harmful for this person. If by doing so his economic condition is harmed, his economic condition is what? Is harmed, then it is not obligatory to procure them. So what he has to do? Is he going to pray without tayammum or without ablution? He should perform tayammum and to perform his salah without tayammum. Is this understood, inshallah? Good. Ruling number 675. 675. If a person is obliged to take a loan, is obliged, is forced to take a loan. أجبر على القرض. for procuring water, he should take a loan. He should take a loan. إذا أجبر على الحصول على القرض، على مود يروح يشتري له ماء، يشتري له هذه، فhe should what? He should take a loan. However, if he knows or feels that it will not be possible for him to repay the loan, it is not obligatory for him to take a loan. So he said that I need, for example, to dig a well in this land, so I have to what? I have to take a loan. Or I don't have money, I have to borrow some money from a friend to buy the bucket and to buy the rope or hire them. In this case, he should borrow money. He should borrow money and to buy a rope or the bucket in order to get water to have ablution. If he could not repay the loan, or feels, not he could not, he feels that he is not going to what? To repay the money, in this case it is not obligatory for him to do what? To have a loan and to borrow money and buy these things. He has to go to perform what? To perform tayammum. Ruling number 676. If digging a well does not involve much hardship, digging a well, if does not involve much hardship. For example, a person, he is so healthy, he has a good health, and he is still young, and he can dig a well easily. There is no much trouble for his health. Okay? The person concerned should dig a well to get water. The person concerned should dig the well in order to get water. Ruling number 677. If he is given water by another person without any obligation, if he is given water by another person without any obligation, he should accept it. Yes, for free. Yes, for free. If he is given water by another person without any obligation, without asking him to repay him money or to do something for him, so he should accept that offer in order to get money, to get the water to have tahara, ablution. The third thing which allowed us to perform tayammum is ruling number 678. If a person fears that if he uses water, his life will be endangered. أنا قبل سألت على رمد العين، شو يسمونه رمد العين؟ Eye disease. I don't know what we call it. This is kind of disease. If we use water, if we wash our faces with water, water will harm us. His eyes will be affected by using water. So he is not allowed. He is not allowed to use what? To use water. Here, if a person fears that if he uses water, his life will be endangered, or he will suffer from some ailment or physical defect, or the illness from which he is already suffering will be prolonged. It will take so long time, more than usual, to be cured, or become acute, or some complications may arise in its treatment. He should perform tayammum. By using water, he will be affected, he will be sick, or sometimes the ailment that he has will prolonged, will take so long time, more than usual time. In this case, he has to turn to what? He has to turn to tayammum. However, if he can avoid the harm by using warm water, for example, if using cold water will harm him, but if he used warm water will never affect him, he should use warm water. He should prepare warm water and do wudu or ghusl when it is necessary. Just like nowadays, if you use cold water, maybe you will say, I will get sick. I will get sick if I use cold water to perform ghusl or ablution. I will get flu. In this case, make warm water and perform ghusl or ablution. Ruling number 679. It is not necessary to be absolutely certain that water is harmful to him. It is not only, it is necessary that you have to be 100% sure that using water is harmful. So what? If he feels, لو ظن that there is a probability of harm, and if that probability is justified by popular opinion, إذا كان عندها أو عند احتمال بالضرر، وهذا الاحتمال نوعي وليس شخصي. شو نقصد بالنوعي وليس شخصي؟ نوعي يعني كل البشر يحسون، يقول لي يابا إذا أسبح بمي بارد هسه أتمرض، يقولوا إيه العقلاء يقولوا له إيه تتمرض. أما لا، الجو حلو وما بي ضرر، وهذا من واحد خايف، إذا أسبح بمي بارد هسه أتمرض، العقلاء يقولوا لا ما أتمرض، هذا ما يعتني بمرض، ما يعتني بهذا probability مالت الاحتمال مالته ما يعتني به. That probability is justified by popular opinion, giving cause for some fear, then he should do tayammum. Ruling number 680. If a person has an eye disease and water is harmful to him, he should perform tayammum. He has what? An eye disease, and using water is what? Is harmful for him. Here he should perform tayammum. هاي ذكرنا عن المسألة قبل شوية. Ruling number 681. If a person performs tayammum on account of certainty or fear about water being harmful to him, but realizes before salat that is not harmful, that means that using water is not harmful for him, his tayammum is void. His tayammum is void, and he should perform what? He should perform wudu. His tayammum is void, and if he realized after this, after having prayed, he should offer the prayer again with wudu or ghusl. And there is no recommended precaution. This is a verdict. لاحظوا ترى ما بيها احتياط، لا استحبابي ولا وجوبي هالمسألة، فتوى. He has to perform qada, because after the salah he realizes that using water is not harmful for him, even after salah. If he is in time, he should perform wudu and to repeat the salah. If it is out of the time, he should perform wudu and give qada for that salah. Ruling number 682. If a person was sure that water was not harmful to him, he is sure that using water is not harmful for him, and he did ghusl or wudu, he used water in tahara, but later realized that water was harmful to him. Now, is that wudu or that ghusl void or valid? His wudu and ghusl will be void. His wudu and ghusl will be void. And also his salah. Yes. He should perform tayammum. He should. Why? Because using water is harmful for him. And he has a permission to perform tayammum. But in spite of that, what he does, he made ghusl or ablution. In this case, his wudu is void, and he has to perform what? He has to perform wudu or ghusl and to repeat the prayer if he already prayed. Tayammum? Yes, tayammum, not wudu. Sorry, tayammum. The fourth situation, ruling number 683. If a person fears that if he uses water for, ruling number 683. If a person fears that if he uses water for ghusl or wudu, he will be involved in hardship because of thirst, راح يكون إذا صرف هذا الماء للوضوء أو الغسل راح شنو يصير عنده؟ راح يصير بسبب فقدانه للماء راح يتعرض للعطش بسبب فقدانه للماء، يعني ما عنده غير هذا الماء. He involved in hardship because of thirst. He should perform tayammum and keep that water for what? For drinking. Tayammum is permissible in the following three cases. Tayammum is permissible. Number one, if he fears that by using up the water for ghusl or wudu, he will suffer an acute thirst. Yes. If he spent this water, he will face what? He will face acute thirst. It will be really hardship for him. حالة حرجية بالنسبة إله. راح يقع بالحرج. Which may result in his illness or death. And in this case, he will face illness or death. Or it may cause intolerable hardship. ربما إنه راح يصير شنو؟ عنده فد حالة من الحرج ما يقدر يتحملها. راح يصير بحالة حرج ما يقدر يتحملها. 2. If he fears that his dependents, whose protection is his responsibility, just like his wife, his son, maybe his prisoner, may become ill or die due to thirst, he should keep the water for him and he can perform tayammum. If he fears that others, human beings or animals, may die or suffer some illness or become unbearably restless and distressed due to lack of water, in this case he should keep water and to perform tayammum. Apart from these three conditions mentioned, it is not permissible to perform tayammum when water is available. Some of these conditions, the three conditions that we just have taken, it is not permissible. والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد عجل.